So who is that?
I Prevail.
I Prevail.
He says, "Oh my God, just shut your fucking mouth."
Okay, well that was rude, and that's how we're gonna start this show.
Oh wow, you already went into it.
Hello,
Okay,
everybody.
hello. I didn't even know you were already starting.
I'm D.
This is Lynn.
We're Project Airwaves, and he doesn't want me to talk. He just told me to shut my fucking mouth.
I didn't mean to. I was reading off the lyrics to this amazing new song that I found.
All right, now it's I Prevail, and what's the song called?
Body Bags.
Body Bag.
Fan-fucking-tastic. It takes a lot for me to like a song all well-rounded. Normally there's like that in between, like, oh, maybe it might be too heavy, it might not be heavy enough.
Right.
Or there's too much acoustics, or there's like with heavy songs they go and then there's a drop.
Yes.
Like you're waiting for the heavy to hit. Like the song's kind of amping up and then it goes into them doing something. Like it becomes predictable.
Yes.
And a lot of I was showing you the reactions.
Oh yeah.
You can see people like saying, "Oh, here it is," and the next thing you know, it changes into something else.
Yes.
The cool part about that song is just there's so much going on.
There is.
It's not like just predictable. Like, oh, I know he's gonna do this, and then he's gonna scream, and then it's gonna drop.
Right.
He's doing the heavy, and then all of a sudden there's a chorus, and he's rapping.
Yes.
And then there's like I don't even know what the hell to call that second verse where it's just
it is kind of a bass drop.
It's like a bass drop,
it's
right?
Delicious.
Yeah, it's a good and everybody's reaction. Even when I was looking at D, it was the same thing. His face was like, oh, like that. That was a different change
because
the second chorus of that,
with music. And Lynn, obviously, me and him go way back with music. We are eclectic. We don't just listen to one brand of music. We listen to rap, rock, country, some Hispanic music. I listen to Rammstein, Tattoo, all that. Music has to hit you a certain way for you to like it. When we got turned on to Linkin Park, System of a Down, Chevelle, Hoobastank, when we got turned on to that, it was like that certain, you heard that one song, and it just like reached in and like tattooed itself on your chest. I feel like
with how music is now, or more or less, like everybody's music genre is obviously different. You're getting a lot of the bullshit mumble rap and stuff where there's no purpose to it. It's just you're listening to sound,
right?
And it's kind of how heavy hits, where it's like you're listening to sound, but there's that, like, if you're listening to it and you're getting goosebumps because of how it's hitting,
right?
It's a good beat.
Yes, but see, that's the thing. The song needs to not only have a good beat, the lyrics amplify.
You have to have a lyrical genius to it.
Yes.
And I was with Spotify, when you're listening to that song, it's like, I'm trying to see what it's saying, because the guy's screaming.
Oh, yeah.
For a good portion of it. So it's like, I don't know what he's saying. I just know he's screaming at me. He's telling me, oh my God, shut your fucking mouth.
Like, but
and
why?
then telling me that I'm being put in a body bag. I'm like, I don't understand, but I'm getting excited because you're screaming this at me. Why am I getting goosebumps?
Because it hits so many points. Like, when the dude starts rapping, that feels like Yellow Card type stuff, or Linkin Park with Mike Shinoda in them. But then you have that grungy, almost disturbed bass.
If you really look at the lyrics, like there's parts where he's saying like, where the fuck is it?
Hooray!
He's pretty much it's like they're adding it up to saying there's a part where he's saying, I'm telling you to bite down and just face it. You're never gonna do much or change. You're never gonna do much or change shit when all you say is fuck it and fuck that. Don't let them save you from yourself. Lights out, embrace it. Like, just deal with the bullshit.
That's the old school shit we always listen
That's like
to.
that emo shit where it's like, all right, you just kind of have to deal with it and go through it. Don't let people pull you out of it. Yeah,
suck it up.
And that's pretty much what this song is. It's saying, it's like, you know, you've got problems, but at the end of the day, everybody's gonna die anyway. So just fucking suck it up. And go through
it gave me that nostalgia. Like I was telling Lynn, I felt like I should have been in a mosh pit, and then I should have been on a skateboard in a skate park. Like,
there's so much going on, and it's like the intro is saying there's a million fucking reasons that you got it bad, but everybody's leaving in a body bag, so go.
It's true. Yeah, it's so true.
It's like it goes into that YOLO factor, like, well, fuck it, you only live once, so just go do what you need to do. Well, and then
when you hear that beat drop, it's just...
Yes.
When you could mosh... Yes. Back in the day, when we could mosh...
Yes.
Man, like when we went to Desert Breeze Park, I forget the name of the concert.
That was Warped Tour. That was a long time ago.
Static X was there.
That was a long time ago.
My 120-pound ex-girlfriend was in the middle of a mosh pit trying to reach out for help because there's these 200-pound dudes just moshing. That was fun. Like they used to just have pop-up like concerts and stuff.
A lot of them now, it's because, they used to have pop-ups. Warped Tour was one of the first ones where you could kind of get a group of people together and be able to actually enjoy multitudes of bands. It's a festival. Yeah. That was one of the first festivals.
Yeah.
EDC became a festival. When We Were Young is the new one that's coming. Life is Beautiful.
Yes.
Day in Vegas. That's right around the corner. Each festival holds different genres.
Those feel more like raver type scenes.
Well, no, each one's different. So I went to Las Vegas was in 2019, right before the pandemic. That was all heavy. EDC is all EDM.
Right.
Life is Beautiful is more.
I thought that was more EDM too.
No, it's like you can get pop and hip hop and a bunch of other stuff.
Oh.
A Day in Vegas is the one that came out a year or two ago. That's all hip hop. It's all rap.
Oh.
So each festival is holding its own different things. The new one that I was telling you that was coming out, it'll be its first time dropping. It's called When We Were Young.
Yeah,
and that's supposed to be in October. The downside about it is it's not even in October yet. They did a 3-day course because the festivals, they do 1 day everything. 2 days, the second thing. It's already sold out. So you can't even get tickets.
Oh, well,
and what sucks is because of this, all the artists that normally come throughout the year, like you should be able to see this band I Prevail twice.
Yeah.
By like going to a venue, seeing them perform with like 1 or 2 people. But none of them are coming until that time. So now you just can't see them because there's no more ticket space because it's such a big lineup. And I was showing D, like they've got some of the old.
Oh man.
That list was.
I don't even. Avril Lavigne is gonna be there.
I have to fucking see if I can even find it again.
He's just the skater boy. I said, see you later, boy. He wasn't good enough for her.
Let me see. When We Were Young lineup.
I'll be in the studio
singing
the song we wrote.
Oh man, My Chemical Romance, Paramore, A Day to Remember, AFI, The Used, I Prevail, Pierce the Veil, Mayday Parade, Motionless in White, Jimmy Eats World, 303. Dude, I didn't fuck. There's it's a lot.
You know, when you said 303, I was thinking of Jumpsuit Apparatus.
That's Red Jumpsuit, yeah.
Red Jumpsuit.
Yeah.
That's who I was thinking of when you said. I was like, that's not them though.
Yeah, no, they're not in here. But they are in there.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. So it's everybody. Like it's the old. Damn, they're way in the fucking corner.
Yeah,
Hawthorne Heights. Like there's a bunch of a good genre, and I like
came up in the 90s, early 2000s.
And it's the thing is, I remember when I showed you. Remember when I showed you the? I went to a beer festival back in April.
Yes,
it's there. It's the festival ground, so it's huge.
Yes,
you're not trapped in this tiny little venue where you can't breathe. Like when I went to Las Vegas, it was at the same spot. I fucking loved it because it's like if I get overwhelmed, you're outside. You can just walk around.
You can still
breathe. They had food trucks. They had you can get drinks. You can get merch. You can go to the bathroom. You either get yourself up to the stage, listen to the shit, and what would happen is when the concert was done, or when that band was done, they had a stage A and stage B. So if I wanted to watch, like, Chevelle played on stage B, the minute they were done, you would walk to one spot, turn to the other, Rob Zombie's playing right there. The minute Rob Zombie's done, you turn around the corner, boom. The concerts are just playing back and forth, back and back. That's what they're going to do with this.
Okay.
So it's a lot to take in, and it's fucking exhausting, but you're getting your money's worth.
I mean, it's going to be worth it because it's nostalgia bait. That's what it is.
That's what it is. That's why they sold out.
We grew up with with all of those bands.
Well, I was talking to my buddy Chris. Shout out to Chris. He's one of our patrons.
Yes. And photographer.
Yes. Thank you again. He was mentioning the same thing because if you look at this realistically, a lot of these bands that are on here, they thought it was you remember that shit Fire Festival?
Yes.
Where it's like
what it was supposed to be.
Yeah, and then it ended up being like they were saying it was like a 5-star restaurant out on an island. And they were eating like fucking bologna sandwiches and shit. And the only artist was Ja Rule. Yeah. So he was saying the same thing. He goes, if you have all these bands, Las Vegas, there was Friday, Saturday, Sunday. There was 8 bands per day. There's over like 50 bands in this thing.
Yeah.
So each band would only get 30 minutes of playtime.
1 or 2 songs.
That's it.
Yeah.
And then between transitioning on stages, it wouldn't be realistic enough for you really getting the full experience.
Yeah.
It's like I can't just stand up at the front the entire time.
I mean,
you're kind of just showing up to watch it from afar, and you have to get it at the right time. And it's like if I want to listen to a band that starts at fucking 6, I have to get there at 12 to burn through, or they might get moved in between the lineup. So he goes, realistically, it might be a fucking catfish.
Well, see, and that's what I mean, though. When you have lineup like that, the music is good enough. You could probably. It's like how we used to watch Sailor Moon before Dragon Ball Z.
We kind of have it. I don't want to watch it,
but it's good enough. I could be like, okay,
yeah, I'll burn through this for 15 minutes, and then DBZ's right on the corner.
Right, it's right around the corner. So it's just one of those things of the songs, all the players. So even if you don't like that specific band, you'll most likely still have a nostalgia moment with the song they're singing. Because I highly doubt, like, My Chemical Romance, they're probably going to sing something upbeat, like...
They have to match. I forgot to show you.
That's
Gohan's new form. That's his new form.
You know what that looks like?
It looks good, right?
Do you remember that old fan art about Gohan going ×4 and he was silver?
Yeah.
and he had that tail and stuff.
Yeah.
That's almost what that looks
It's
like.
him because the way that hair spiked up, it's like him Super Saiyan 2 when he's younger.
Totally sidetracked.
Yes,
We're talking
I know.
about
but
the new Dragon
they
Ball Z
do a
movie.
part where his eyes go red and they zoom in when he's fighting Cell, like a
Don't do
demonic
this.
Cell in a Max form.
Don't do this.
It looks so good.
I'm gonna say I said it
looks
once and I'm gonna say it
so
again.
good.
This will be the biggest. If they don't pull this
So
off
I
right,
was
this will be the
watching
biggest.
I know
blue
we're
ball.
getting sidetracked, but I was watching clips of people
Yes.
reacting to it because it's already out in
Yes.
Japan. It got really high ratings,
so fucking-
and they're waiting for it to because it'll be here in August.
Yeah, it's got to get voice.
Yeah,
over
and
it,
they
yeah.
said that even though most of the DVD stuff was 2D.
Yeah.
It was just 2D flat.
Yeah.
Which it would be, fan art or the art where they drag
Yeah,
around and
and then
stuff like
the
that.
scene and everything.
This is 2.5D. So they get this weird
I
CGI
saw.
thing where it's like
It's like old school video game.
the guy was saying it's like you're watching like a cutscene.
Yeah,
in a video
cutscene,
game.
yes.
He's like it's straight on. The person that was reviewing it was saying it's straight on to where when you're watching it, it kind of fucks with your eyes because
Yeah.
you're like I'm watching it like
Yeah.
a normal cartoon, and then when the camera pans,
Yeah.
all of a sudden you're seeing a 3D thing.
Yeah,
so I
like
just
when
know
you
when
sent
to
me that fight with Piccolo
You-
and that
yeah.
guy.
Yeah.
I was like,
you
I was
can
seeing
feel
it,
when they're hitting each other.
and
You
it
can
felt like a video game cutscene because they're coming at each other, and then it's almost like it panned around him, and I
Yeah.
was like, wait, I've seen this before.
Yeah.
But they did it so smooth.
I like that
you don't mind.
when they were hitting one another. You
Yes.
could feel the hit.
Bro,
it wasn't
when he
half.
transformed.
Yes, and you saw him. He was a tank.
Oh my
the
God.
dude just punched him, and he just went.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Look, okay, I'm not going to stand this long.
Yes,
I
yes.
have always, you can ask anybody, I have always been a Piccolo Gohan fan from jump.
It's all them. It's all them the entire time.
Forget Goku. Goku had his time in Dragon Ball, a
Mm-hmm.
little bit in Dragon Ball Z. When they had that little montage where Piccolo was training Gohan
Mm-hmm.
and Gohan learned the Masenko and he cut off that, I called it Reptar. He cut off that dinosaur's tail.
Yeah.
And just like all the shit, dude, I'm sitting here going, he's going to be the strongest. He's going to be the best.
They're making to that
And then
too.
they shit on my chest by wishing Goku back.
Yeah.
And they're like, but he's stronger.
They do little
He's just
clips
stronger.
in between where it's Goku, Vegeta, and Broly fighting. They're training because
Yeah.
Broly. It links into after the
I
last.
guess
movie.
Broly's a good guy.
He was never bad. He was just crazy. The whole concept of it was is that he got fucked with his
the
head.
new Brawly.
Yes.
Because
Well,
the
have you-
original Brawly was pure evil.
But you've seen the movie, the Broly
not the
movie.
new one. I haven't. I know.
Everybody's saying too the new one is so
It's
good.
because and look, this is why I didn't watch Super, because they did not give Gohan his true respects.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, I don't like Goku that much.
I know.
I really don't.
I
So
know.
this new, when everyone was like,
Fine.
hyper focus or whatever that was, Ultra Instinct.
Hyper focus. Now you're just making fun of.
I was
You're
cool, but I was like,
disrespecting.
but what about your son who's sitting there who literally killed one of the biggest enemies you've
They're
ever had? or whatever?
transitioning into that
Yes.
because Vegeta got his version 2.
Yes.
Where it's
His
called
Royal Blue or something.
No, it's called Ultra. What is it? Ultra Evo.
It's where he puts got to be glued in
No,
his
it's
hair.
funny. It's because he loses his eyebrows almost entirely, but his aura is like a black flame.
Yes.
Like I don't know. How to
Almost
explain.
like Homeboy from Yu Yu Hakusho.
Yes, like
Yes.
Hiei. Yeah,
Okay,
same.
yes.
Yeah,
Oh my
same
God.
concept.
Okay, all right, we're getting
anyways,
off topic.
yeah, we're getting
So-
sidetracked.
So as far as the music though,
Mm-hmm.
I'm totally down for the I Prevail. I'm curious to listen to more of their music because it's been a long time.
Their new album drops in August, I want to say. So it's it's practically a month away.
Right.
Them dropping that, my boy told me about it, and I just like I said, I started spamming it to whoever I could see, and I've been seeing reaction videos, and everybody, the people that don't even listen to that shit,
Yeah.
are like, damn, this is crazy because it's such a
Yes.
crazy transition of.
Yes.
Normally they're very acoustic and they go heavy, and then it's acoustic and heavy, and it's just. I think it's cool. It's something to look forward.
I think it's a nice new variety. I think it's bringing back, because we used to have a lot more variety, it feels like, of music, where you would get, your different feel from different genre. But now, this is kind of that, like I said, it's nostalgia.
It's nostalgia.
It's nice to hear. It's nice to see. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, definitely, if we go to the concert, or if you find a way to get in, or however.
I'll let you know.
I know you got strings.
Yeah, you really got to mentally prepare
This guy's
yourself.
got strings.
You really got to mentally
It's
prepare
like
yourself.
Agent 47,
Agent
but he has hair.
That Hitman? I thought, yeah, okay. I was like, wait, I was trying to think what you're talking about. Okay,
All right, well, on to the next one.
on to the next one.
All right, so now Lynn wanted to talk about something in Texas.
I am here, United States of Smash.
What?
I said that to a student.
Shamash?
I said that. I said that to a student yesterday. They were doing a move.
Mm-hmm.
They were doing a move because they were trying to do like a wrist lock, and I said, "All right, so just do the United States of Smash on this person." And the student stopped. He looked at me. He goes, "Did you just make a My Hero Academia phrase?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm proud of you that you know that." And he's
Yeah.
like, "Yeah, I'm not going to United States of Smash this person.
You went too far.
I'm just trying to put them in
It's
restraints."
supposed to be a city or a state. You took the whole country.
That's what he did. So he did.
Oh wait, is this after season 1?
No. It was all of season 1. He did Texas Smash. Not
Yeah,
Texas
it was
Smash.
some Dakota or something.
Yeah.
Colorado
Smash, and then each Smash was like a different kind.
Yeah.
But his strongest thing is it's all the states combined. It's called It's called the United States of Smash, and he does so much force behind it. It like literally like drained all his energy.
Oh, that was his final flash or whatever. Yeah.
His final,
okay.
United States of Smash.
So no.
So the reason why I'm stating off of the United States of Smash is
Yes.
I saw a little thing pop up about Texas trying to succeed themselves from the United States. Secede. Withdraw. Retract. Reframe.
Retract.
Insert. I don't
know.
No. Remove.
No.
Remove. Texas wants to become their own independent spot, which I don't even know how to go about that. You mentioned what was the other one? It was New York that had tried to do that a long time ago.
Well, because I had heard about this happening before, and it was more towards like the East Coast, and I couldn't remember, but it's like somewhere it was like Rhode Island or something was trying to secede from New Jersey or something like that, or Staten Island.
No,
I think it was
Staten Island. Yeah,
Staten Island.
Yeah.
Sorry if I mispronounced it. So I had heard about it before, but then when he said Texas was thinking about it now, I'm like, Texas, first of all, y'all need to chill. Y'all are becoming the new Florida man because all this strange stuff is popping off with y'all.
Well, the thing is with Texas has a lot of their laws and legislations are different. Like Texas has like.
Did you say sexist?
Texas.
Sound like you said sexist.
Whatever. You need to get your gutter. Get your gutter out of your head.
Get your gutter out of your head.
Get your head out of the gutter. I don't know how to explain it because Texas is so goddamn big. It's the biggest state in the country.
Yeah.
They have so many different zones. I remember I went to go visit my sister out there in Sugarland, and she was saying like how Nevada has like Wayne County and Nye County and Clark County and all that bullshit times like 10. There's just so much to it where they're trying to pull themselves entirely away from it because so much shit is happening with the United States.
Yes.
Where they want to kind of like kick everybody out that's non-local. The equivalent of everybody that's mass exiting over here to Las Vegas or to Nevada.
Yeah,
from California. It's like get the fuck out, go back to California. Now Nevada is its own thing.
Yeah.
But like Philly D said, the reason why they can't do that is because
first of all, you declare your own sovereignty. You start losing certain benefits that the rest of us enjoy in the country, and it. First of all, it's just not going to happen. I'm sorry, it's not going to happen. They can want it all they want. That's some shit we saw back in the Confederate days when they were trying to figure out how the country was going to get split up and cutting, the border lines in the states and everything. You have Texas. It is what it is. That's almost like Brexit. And do you know about Brexit in the UK? Where they're like, I forget exactly who, but they're trying to break away from the United Kingdom. All this shit, and it's just causing chaos. It's going to cause nothing but chaos for those people. It's going to be an upheaval of their economy, of their whole workday. Sounds nice. Personally, I don't think it's going to happen.
You know what? And that's like not this is sidetracked more or less for the whole Russian and Ukraine thing. But I was listening to Joe, and they were saying, this thing is that Russia's now trying to back off from all the bombing and stuff like that to the Ukraine, saying that they would no longer attack them anymore if they get rid of their military presence. Meaning you have to completely wipe out your military.
Yep.
We're sorry for no, they're not even apologizing. They're like, okay, we won't attack you anymore. We promise we won't do it again.
Yes.
But you need to get rid of all of your military presence.
Yes.
And because Putin was trying to get the Ukraine's president assassinated, which is just this average Joe guy.
Yeah, he was an actor, actually.
Yes. So
that became the president.
They tried to assassinate him so many times, and it wasn't working.
Yes.
They said, you have to get rid of your military presence, and then if your president dies, we get to choose who covers that office.
Yes. Yes.
And then they have to be a part of Russia.
That's like Adolf going, hey, I need you to kill all the Jays, and then I'll stop killing people.
Yes.
It's like, wait. No,
yeah, it doesn't work like that. So they're like, no, like we're not winning, but we're not gonna just shut everything down and become submissive.
Yeah, because you want me to give up the ability to defend myself.
Yes,
and that goes into kind of the topic I heard about, or that I want to discuss as far as Texas with the whole Uvalde thing, because more and more information is coming out about what really happened at that school shooting, and coming to find out, cops were already in the building. The police department had already breached the building. They knew. At least they had a general idea of where the shooter was. One of the officers, he got like a phone call or a text message from his wife saying she was bleeding out in the classroom. According to, and I did some research, also heard this on Philly D. According to reports, the officer tried to then get to his wife, but his other fellow officers not only restrained him, they took his gun away and dragged him off the scene. Like, dude, are you kidding me? We're hearing about them putting parents that were trying to get to their kids in handcuffs and shit like that. Like, this is not how we do business, guys. It's almost like you wanted people to die just so you could protect your own ass. And that's what it looks like.
Sorry.
What are you doing?
I know two of those are mine. I know two of those are mine. I didn't send that many. I was like, oh, it's going to keep going.
But it's just, it's insulting to the people who had the ability to do something. It's also disheartening because it's like, if they would just have done their job, and yes, I'm sorry, but like me and Lynn have discussed, you put that badge on, your life becomes forfeit to the public.
You have to also
that's your job.
Not to justify what's going on with this, but because let's say this happened 2 years ago, right? Pre-pandemic. People that are employed in that department, because a lot of these law enforcement agencies, like even with Metro, the officers that were the original OGs, the ones that would actually handle shit and go in, because the pandemic wiped out most of these places, they're hiring people that are just not fit for the job like they used to be. It's no different than what I'm doing right now with these officers. Not to talk shit about what's going on, but it's like, dude, I'm training. Not a big class. It's like 17 people. I got 2 other property instructors with me teaching. And this class is fucking garbage. It's like the students are just, it's the bare minimum. It's like they found a homeless guy on the street, they gave him a job, and they're like, hey, come in here. And it's like, you have to turn this person into a weapon. Yeah. We want to teach them all the laws, all how to do reports, all the OSHA shit, and then
they can barely wipe their own ass.
And then you put them in defensive tactics, and they can't take, like, I teach you how to do a move. And normally, like, my success rate when it comes to teaching is very high. Yeah. Like, out of 20 people, it's very rare that maybe even one doesn't pass, because I'm pretty good about it. I'm pretty good about planning out a system. If I know there's this issue with this person, I'll either work with them individually or get someone in my team to
because
go
you want them to be successful.
Yeah, exactly. I give them ample amount of time, and I find ways to adapt my training because I can teach like that. These students, it's like I was working with a guy, and we're on day 4 with them. They take their final test tomorrow, and there's people that are still messing up on the day 1 shit. And the day 1 shit is like, step forward, step backwards, turn around. I kid you not. Like one of the basic things for footwork, it's called the forward shuffle. All it is that I'm teaching you, rather than if I want to grab you, I'm not walking up to you with my hands out and doing this. I'm moving my body as a whole in a force to where if I want to grab you, you're getting my whole body. So I'm shuffling forward. If something pops off, I'm pushing back.
You're maintaining your stability.
My stance, my primary stance. And these people are still like, you tell them to forward shuffle, and they're like,
they'll just take a step forward.
And they'll have their hands in their pocket. And I tell it when we're teaching it, like, hey, put your fucking hands up. I was like, if I walk up to you as a subject, and my bosses, they support it all. They're like, we have to mentally prepare them because they think that they're going to go to property and they're the security guards. They're going to sit there and do nothing. I'm like, you're going to go to property.
This is hands-on.
These people are going to fight with you. Times have changed. Crime's getting worse. They're even changing our program, finally, which... pros and cons. You're only able to grapple in security, and they're changing it to where they're authorizing striking now.
You have to.
So on the 10th of July, they're putting us through. I mean, I'm already practically qualified in this, but now it's to put the whole team together for it. It's called Safariland Training, and they're putting us through baton training and striking. Oh my god! So we can start teaching it to officers because
that's so behind. But no, it's good. It's so behind.
Because what was happening is you're arming these officers to go to property, and they're
with
like, "Hey,
fucking pepper spray."
And they're not even. They took that away.
Oh my god!
So what they would do is they would send an officer to property. You're getting some horrible monster of a person coming from California or wherever, and they're just like, oh, I can never do the fuck I want because you can only touch me, and then they punch you, stab you, attack you. The officer would defend themselves and then get fired. Or legal would have to protect them, like, why did you hit that person? They were hitting me. Well, we taught you defensive tactics. You should be able to grab this person. Well, I can't.
And that's that bureaucracy BS that I had to get out of security. We're on the strip. I'm working graveyard. People are drunk, high, tweaking out of their brains. Hoes are out with weapons. Pimps, drug dealers, gangbangers, they're all out with weapons. These people didn't come out with lollipops and cotton swabs. No. They came out with guns, knives, coked out or whatever, ready to hurt you.
You have to be able to match, not to go off a topic, but you have to be able to match aggression with aggression.
You do.
I can't be submissive and then you want me to control this person if they're coming at me with a fucking nuke. And I feel like with what happened in Texas, it's kind of the same thing. Not that I know enough about their law department, their law enforcement, their department of law enforcement, but you're getting a lot of cats that are coming here that just kind of got the job because they wanted a job.
That's what it feels like.
And they're like, okay, let's just get you
like
in
they're
there.
Like, we're waiting for orders.
And they're responding. And I get that a lot at the previous properties where they're saying like, hey, my instructors are they're OGs to an extent.
Yeah.
They've been there long enough, and they're like,
Yeah.
dude, the people that you hire, they come here, the fight goes on, and we're looking at them, and they're just
They're deer in
They're
headlights.
just staring at us like,
Yeah.
what do we do? And
What
then
do
they
we
quit.
do?
And
Jump
then we quit.
in.
You train them for a month. They survive like 3 days on property because they see some gory shit.
Right.
And that's, I feel like what this is.
Yes.
People not being prepared because the ones that were prepared got let go.
Or they're just not with the force anymore, and that's what I mean. Though it's one of those things of I hope this is never repeated. As far as having to physically see, we saw the videos, parents being held back from rescuing or responding to their children. In this situation, this wasn't just like, something simple where somebody just brandished a gun and that was it. People died because of the lack of action. So I don't know why this particular shooting is sticking with me so hard, but I've been definitely listening to, the new developments, the facts about it, because I guess it's because now that I have a 6-year-old, and I'm going to, he's 6 now. He's going to be starting first grade in August.
Damn.
That's now going to be his world, his reality, where I have to potentially prepare him. If there's an active shooter at school, I need you to do X, Y, Z. So I it's just one of those things that's kind of really sticking with me. But, for anybody who's a parent out there, do everything you can to protect your kids. And, if that means having to use force, put them down. I'd rather them be 6 feet under than my kid be 6 feet under. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's kind of all I just wanted to touch on that about. Other than that, all right.
Yep.
And the last thing
Ugh.
we're going to actually, I'm not going to talk very much. This is Lynn's
I-
topic. He's salty.
I feel like I'm stuck in a fucking time loop. Same shit. Even when I went to PT today, not the bar, but when I was at physical therapy, my guy, shout out to David, appreciate you for always working on me. He was mentioning how I was talking about the same topic last year, trying to make it as accurate as I possibly can with what knowledge I have. Is again, I'm back in the route of trying to find a home. I want to get an actual place, be it a condo, townhome, house, whatever I can. I want a mortgage. I don't want to do this rent shit. My lease is going to be up soon in the next month or so, and I wanted to start hunting the market.
Yep.
Now, last year, I mentioned to you that I was trying to do the same thing. I was still working at my previous job, making good money, but not enough to where I had 10 grand in credit card debt. I had a car payment and stuff like that, and I qualified for barely 190,000, which at the market's rate was okay, not great, but the interest rate was only at a 3.3, which now knowing that's not bad at all.
Right.
So, fast forwarding to now, almost a year later, I have a promotion that I got last year with what I'm doing now with my teaching stuff, and my credit card debt went down. But because of my car getting totaled and having to get a new car, I have a higher car payment. Things should have balanced themselves out.
Should have.
Go to qualify for another loan, and they barely want to bump me up 10 grand. And now the APR or the interest rate is now at a 6 rather than a 3. So I keep hearing from people left and right, or my realtor person that I'm going through, and loan people saying the same shit, like Captain Hindsight shit, like, oh, you would have qualified for 300,000 if you didn't have a car. I'm like, well, thanks, Captain Hindsight. Like, I'm fucking aware. I know that.
Right.
What can you do to help me get to that area? Do I need to do something with my car? Should I just go fucking crash it somewhere?
Right.
Like, how can I reassess this? Because
He's not going to crash his car.
No. I need an idea. With me, I have this tendency, which makes it really, really hard, and I'm sure there's other people around me that are just like this. I plan so far ahead that it makes me stress out if I can't see the light at the end of the tunnel.
Yes.
I can't be that person that if someone tells me, hey, I need you to go in this tunnel. I know it's dark. I know you can't see at the other end, but trust me, if you keep pushing through, something will happen over there.
Not good enough.
No, not good enough. If you tell me this tunnel is 500 miles long, but at the very end, you can see
something.
Salvation.
Yeah.
I will grind my ass off and walk for 500 miles because I can see where I'm going. I will not stop working. But I'm being told with just blind faith, like, oh, well, it could be 500 miles. It could be 5 miles.
Yeah. We
just
don't know.
try to go through. And it's like, I can't chance that because I have no more backups. I have no more, I'll go stay with this one person. I'll go do this. I'll recess this. Even if I were to go and stay with somebody to save money, if the market is increasing up with a higher rate, and it goes from a 6 to a 7 to whatever, until I get a job that pays me even more money, next year having no credit card debt or even a lower car payment, it wouldn't matter. That $400,000 house that got dropped down to $200,000 doesn't mean anything if I'm still paying this super high interest rate that matches the $400,000 house.
Right. It was almost like it balanced in the other direction.
Yeah. So great. Now I buy a fucking dump of a house in North Las Vegas, but I'm paying $4,000 a month.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't. Yeah. The balance. That's a good way of putting it. The scales are flipping. They're trying to make it to where the market looks cheaper, so you have an opportunity to get a better house.
Yes.
Because people that are holding these houses, the market's starting to notice. They're like, hey, this house isn't worth $500,000. Why are you sitting on it? So they're questioning it. They're trying to drop the rate down, but then they're trying to balance it out by pushing the interest back up. So it's just like, it seems like a fruitless cause. Like, I don't understand how it's in my dude, I don't even know how to word this shit.
Well, it's like I said, Vegas feels like it's turning into New York, where it's so expensive to live here as a local. You come here, you know, like, because if you go to New York, say you're like a famous celebrity, you're staying at the best hotel, you have a nice car, you probably have somebody driving you around, valets, chauffeurs, all types of stuff. But as a regular person, you probably live damn near in like the shittiest part of New York, or you might have like a tiny little apartment.
It's yeah, and you're paying double the amount.
You know what I mean?
I was talking to someone about this. It's like, I'm not trying to be pessimistic and negative, but people that are coming from different states, I feel like there should have been a law where you have to be a resident for at least a year before you could buy.
That wouldn't make money.
That's what I'm saying. They're not making any money. Like, the residents that have been here for an X amount of time be able to buy a home at a normal rate.
Yes.
If you want to come here and just buy a spot from a different place, you have to stay in an apartment for a year, pay your dues, rent a home, do whatever, and then you can buy the house.
Oh, I
but
agree.
Don't come from, like you said, from California where their houses are $500,000 and they're buying our $250,000 homes.
Yes.
Because they have the money to flex. Because people are getting so greedy, and realtors are like, oh, well, this is money.
Yeah.
I'll take this person. I don't even care if they're non-local. Mind you, now us locals can't even get fucking breadcrumbs.
Right.
And it's like, how much harder do I need to push as an individual until I can have my piece of pie? Because I'm telling you, like, I'm at that point now. It's like, I can't grind any more than I already have.
Right.
I'm maxed out.
Right. I don't want my piece of pie in Vegas. I'll put it that way. Like, you know, we've talked about before. I will gladly move out to Pahrump. I've heard the stories. I don't care. I just want to get away from the hustle and bustle of the city, because it feels like we're working. I'll put it this way. It feels like we're paying full price for bullshit. So, like, I bought a new laptop for the podcast. We paid $300. Laptop is great. It works, but it can barely handle the workload that me and you are putting on this
We're
thing.
slamming videos,
You know what I mean?
edits, everything.
Right.
Yeah.
It's chugging along, but it can barely handle it. So in about a year or two, we're going to need to buy another laptop. But this one's going to need $500, maybe a little bit more. So it's like we're paying premium price, but we're not getting the best quality product.
That makes sense. It's
You know?
like how much energy do you need to put in? Like, why? And I was talking to some of my coworkers today, because I work in a small team of like 8 to 10 of us. We all have our specialties and stuff. Defensive tactics be my primary, but I also am able to do report writing and stuff like that. Next week I have to do a bike academy. I did the bike academy to be an instructor a month or two ago.
Oh yeah.
So I'll be teaching my first class. So it's me and this other guy, the guy that I traveled with to Mississippi and Detroit. One of the girls that's partnered up with me, she's been training with me to do defensive tactics, but she's the primary person in report writing. So she trains me, I train her.
Nice.
Well, the bike academy's coming. We're going to be training her as a bike officer with other officers.
Nice.
And that's fine for me because it gets me away from work.
Right.
I can just ride around, fuck off, do whatever I
get
need to
fresh
do.
air.
I don't need to worry about anything else. But her position, they have her and my boy, they have them do all this admin shit in the side, like send out these emails, put this Excel sheet together, do this, and teach your class.
Yep.
I'm struggling just to teach the class,
Right.
and maybe do a little bit of work here, and they're
Right.
doubling theirs in other aspects, and they're stressing out. And I told them the same thing. I was like, are they paying you any more money?
No.
They're like, no. We all make the same, but some of us get more work than others.
Yes.
And with how this department is, they don't want to give you any more money because we're technically maxed out in our bracket.
Yes.
So they're like, oh, we promise you, and they mentioned this last year, we will bump up, you're going to get promoted to salary, which puts you in a different bracket. We're tier 10.
Yeah.
The level's weird.
It's a tier system.
Yeah, so the tier will drop us to a tier 8, which is technically higher. Like my director is a tier 4. But at my last job, I was a tier 4 in security. Now, it's weird. They flip it. It's corporate-wise, the lower the tier, like the president of the company in security is a tier 1.
Yeah.
But as an officer on a property, you're a tier 1. So it goes reverse. Once you max out to tier 10, you go right back down.
in that particular
Rather than going it
category.
from 1 to 20,
Yeah.
you go 1 to 10 and then 10 back down to 1.
And then up to the next level.
So I
and then
maxed
come
out
back.
at tier
Okay.
4. I surpassed tier 5 to 10. I gotten 10, and now I'm going back down the other way to max out. So I'm at the bottom of my tier, but I'm above property officers.
What the regular people be making. Yes.
So they want to move us up to like a level 8, but that has to move us to salary. So it's like, even if I ask, like, hey, can I get a pay raise? They're like, oh, well, we need to promote you.
Yes.
I'm like, okay, well, promote me. Well, it's not in the budget.
Do that.
It's not in the budget. We can't. And you can't promote all of us because each one of us promoting would cost
hella money.
If you're looking at 70 grand per person and there's 10 people, that's almost $1 million. Think about that. $1 million for 7 people.
That's $700,000 plus dollars.
I understand the concept of it, but don't give us more work and expect us to be like, please, sir, can I have another?
Unfortunately, that's what it is.
Even the girl that I'm working with, she even said, she goes, I do good at my job. I take on more work. And rather than praising me and giving me more pay, if I fuck up, they give me more work and then punish me for messing up.
Yes.
So I told him straight up, I was like, look, me and her and the other guy were like, we're just flying under the radar to come collect our checks and get out. I will do the bare minimum, but I will not take on any other tasks. If they tell me they need more from me, I'll tell them no.
Yes.
Because what are you going to do? Replace me?
Well, it's like I talked about when we first started the podcast. These places of employment need to realize it's called the Law of Diminishing Returns, where I dealt with this with every company I worked with that sells any product. They're more willing to give a better deal to a brand new customer.
Shout out to Brandy and Jordan. Appreciate you guys. Love you guys. Thank you. Go ahead.
They'll give a great deal. So they'll say, okay, come over to our company. We'll give you a brand new iPhone XR, whatever. However, if you've been with the company for over 5-10 years, they won't give you really much anything of a discount. They won't give you any breaks, and if you miss your phone payment for just 1 month, they'll cut your line off. It's diminishing returns, where the longer you stay, the less you get. The more you do, the less you get.
There was a video that she sent me, or she showed me, and it was the same concept. It was a really, really cool video. So this guy was doing a, I don't want to eat up too much of our time of it, but this guy was doing a, like a public speaking, and he mentioned how he stayed at the Four Seasons Hotel, which is connected to Mandalay Bay. And he said, like, to shorten out this story, he met a barista working at the hotel, and he said, staying at the Four Seasons, he goes, it's not just a nice hotel, but everybody was so friendly. Everybody's saying, hi, hello, how are you? And you could generally tell that they cared about you. He was talking to this barista, and he asked this barista, he's like, hey, do you like your job? And without skipping a beat, the barista's like, I love my job. And he goes, well, why do you like your job? And he's like, well, the managers always come by and they ask me, what do I need? What can I help you with? What do I do? What can I do for you? And he goes, oh, is this your only primary job? I don't want to mess this up too much, but this same barista works for Caesars. And he says Caesars, because of the work that they do for the same thing, the management is more or less, what are you doing to make more money? Why aren't you doing it this way? You need to do this in order to make it better. He's like, so at Caesars, I just go there to perform.
Yes.
And keep my head under the radar to get a paycheck. Opposed to here, I enjoy being here.
Right.
Which in terms boosts up morale.
Right.
So it comes to, if a management is willing to respect you and ask you what you need and give you more money in order to make you grow, and in terms makes the company look better. Yes. But if you're bullying everybody into doing all this extra work and not giving them any recognition or pay, I'm just going to fly under the radar and catch my fucking
morale.
Check.
And that's ultimately what it is, because I'm doing that in my job. I do the bare minimum. If you call me out on anything, I go, are you going to fire me for it? They go, no. Okay, leave me alone.
Yeah, leave me alone.
Leave me the fuck alone.
And then
they just look at me.
I've gotten to that point too. They were like my boss now. Like I don't take on any more tasks. If she just tells me I'm gonna need you to do this, I just look at her and go, well, no.
Yeah.
And she's like, well, you have to. I was like,
no, I don't.
I don't. It does not change anything. I'm here to teach. You want to add on extra stuff? You want to add on extra stuff? Give it to somebody else. Yeah. I'm like, you're not giving me all this extra work and stressing me the fuck out, and I'm not getting any extra money. To wrap it up. Yeah. To turn this into a thing. There has to be, and by all means, anybody that can put this out in our email or our comments and stuff like that, comment down below or send out an email and tell me where you think, how do I phrase this? What would be a better method to progression in life? Meaning, should someone continue to grind harder and hope that they get recognized so they can move up in life? Or do you need to take an alternative path and do something alternative in order to get your just desserts?
I mean, see, that
Finesse
question answers itself. It almost answers itself. And I'll put it this way. My current boss right now said it the best way. If you're at a company that does not respect you and they do not see your full potential, go to another company that will. Now, in our lifetime, we've been told job hopping is bad. The first year I was working, I think I had like 4 or 5 different jobs. Everyone was like, this looks bad. This looks bad.
Yeah.
However, now the job I have is paying me more than any other job I've ever had before, and that's because I was job hopping.
Yes.
I was chasing the dollar. So at this point, I put in enough time with this job. If I did go to another job, I would have some type of experience. But the question is that what I want?
That's what it's coming down to. And I'm noticing it with us hiring people in the department is that they're hiring a bunch of fucking people. Like my guys, my instructors I was pulling from other properties, I worked with them. And it's not that I was hiring my friends. It's like these guys are just good at what they're doing. They're reliable. And I thought we would be able to get them all transitioned in to come work with us.
Right.
And out of the 4 of them, we only got 1. And he's doing good, but it's like, all right, we're trying to get the rest of the boys in there because we need to start doing more work.
Yes.
They're giving us all this extra work and no extra help.
Yep.
So bring in the people that know this academy like the back of our hands, even though they don't work for us. And you don't have to train them. Just bring them in, and then we can just start running with it.
But why do that if the 2 of you can do it right now?
Exactly. And what they're doing now is like, oh, we're going to hire the people that have no experience in it.
Yes.
And they're coming in. And the reason why is because of their experience at other jobs.
It's
so they
so
want to
stupid.
hire someone in. So it's like, okay, do I need to leave this job in order to get recognized somewhere else? I'm seeing the cycle that you're putting out.
It's a revolving
I'm picking
door.
up what you're putting down.
You know what I mean? But if you liked what we had to talk about today, please leave a comment on YouTube. If you would like, feel free to go to our website, projectairways.com. You can also send us an email at our email address, also in the description. I'm D.
This is Lynn.
Check us out on TikTok, Facebook. Check out our Patreon. Check out our YouTube. Check us out on Anchor. You can find us anywhere you want. Keep your head in the clouds.
And keep your feet on the ground, always moving forward.
Project Airwaves signing out. We will catch you in the next one. You did so good.
Real good.